Cool, man.
Proudly.
We're gonna stand before God in the day of judgment. It says it's appointed on the men once to die. After this is the judgment. We're gonna stand before God in the day of judgment.
When is the judgment?
He's gonna bring every work into judgment with every secret thing, whether it be good or whether it be evil. Well, it depends when you die. You're gonna either die and go to heaven, or you're gonna die and go to hell when you die.
Be dead.
No, it says you're gonna go to one of two places. The Bible's very clear.
Die and be dead. Yeah, the Bible's very clear.
Well, so God in the beginning made man in his own image, and we fell, but we're actually eternal creatures. We're not just going to die and cease to exist. There's no reincarnation. We don't just die and that's it. We die and we stand before God. God says, as I live, saith the Lord, every knee shall bow to me, and every tongue shall confess to God.
But the Quran also says that.
What does it say
Hinduism
that?
also says that. Yes, it
Yeah, it
does.
does.
Well, Jesus said, I am the way, the truth, and the life, and no man comes to the Father but by
So
me.
did Muhammad say that?
But so you're going to have to stand before God, who is Jesus Christ, on the day of judgment. The one that judges against sin. He hates all sin, all unrighteousness.
Jesus Christ is God's son, not God is Jesus Christ.
He is God
Well, it
too.
depends on where you look at it. 'cause
But it
it's the Holy
says,
Trinity.
lying lips are an abomination to the Lord, a proud look. Jesus said if we just look with lust in our heart towards a man or a woman, we're guilty of adultery in the eyes of
Well, man
God.
towards man, woman towards woman.
Man towards man, woman towards woman, guilty of adultery in the eyes of God. If you have hatred towards somebody without a cause, guilty of murder in the eyes of God. For God tries the heart of man. God does not see as a man sees, the Lord tries the heart. And our hearts are deceitful above all things. That's why this world is the way it is. But we're going to have to stand before that God. The only way that we can be forgiven is if we trust in the sacrifice of Christ. He's the only one that can save us. God sent his son 2,000 years ago to die in our place upon the cross, was buried in the grave, and rose again from the dead. And he's given assurance unto all men that he raised them from the dead. No one else in the history of the world has prophesied about their own death. It's foretold for thousands of years that Christ would come and die and rise again from the dead. That's why we're still here. I used to be, are you guys in high school?
I'm at university.
Okay. I was a drug addict growing up your guys' age. I got into drugs, women. I didn't grow up in church. I ruined my life. I was in prison. I was in jail. And I had a dream one night my brother got thrown into hell, and it led me to read the scriptures. And God over the last 7 years has changed my life so much. But that's a reality for all of us. God made man in the beginning in his own image until they rebelled against him and fell. And have you ever heard of the story of the Garden of Eden?
Yes.
God made them male and female. He told them, just don't eat from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. For when you eat from that tree, you're going to die. And they rebelled against God, and that's why we die today. It's not natural for us to die. That's why people are scared of dying. That's why it's a fearful thing. I used to be afraid of it, but there's one that overcame death. That's Christ.
And I think it's really lovely that you found religion. I'm not
Yeah.
anti-religion at all.
No,
My
I
parents
admire
have brought me up that if you want to be atheist, then you have to have reason to be atheist. And I think it's fantastic that you found God.
Yeah.
Personally, for me, I've suffered too many hardships in my life that I can personally turn around and go, I think that I've deserved that, because I don't think I have. I was 12 years old, diagnosed with a brain tumour, and I've had through lots of brain surgery. And for me personally, my dad is dying. I don't think at 12 years old that anybody can turn around to me and say, actually, I think that was God's willing, because it's a God test. I'm very well versed in religion. I've read the Bible front to back.
Yeah.
I've read the Quran front to back. I've Hinduism. I'm very well versed in religion and philosophy. And for me personally, I think we've just taken two different routes, but I'm so happy that we found religion.
But yeah, it's not even religion though. It's just a relationship with God. Like, I hate churchianity. We're not about a church. I have a relationship with actual God, like the one that made us, the one that created us. And we live in a fallen world, and that stuff that you went through is terrible, and the stuff that I went through was terrible, and the stuff that I did was terrible.
So why do you think God would let things like that happen?
Well, so God's allowing it for a season, but it says He's gonna right all the wrongs one day. Vengeance is His. The things that are happening, like all the injustice and things like that we see happening in the world, God's just not letting it go forever. God's in this age, He's being long-suffering because He doesn't want people to die and go to hell. But we're just
omnibenevolence fit into for that.
What's omnibenevolence?
That He's all, the Holy Triad, isn't it?
Like
That
he
he's
knows all
all-knowing,
things?
He's all loving, He's all powerful.
Yeah.
Omnipotent is all powerful. Omnibenevolence is all loving.
So if you believe,
Well, it doesn't. The Bible doesn't teach God is all loving. It
does.
teaches that God is love,
Proverbs 3:16.
but it also says the wicked shall be turned into hell, and all the nations that forget God. Well, no, in the Old Testament too. God was destroying sinners. It says He's going to destroy the sinners up out of this earth. God is love, but God is also angry with the wicked every day, and He's not going to clear the righteous. There's a goodness of God and the grace of God, but there's also the severity of God. The things that we have done in our lives, God is going to bring these things into judgment one day. He's not just going to say, oh yeah, there's people down there killing each other and fornicating and murdering and lying, and I'm a righteous and holy God who's all about truth, and just say, no, that's no big deal. He's going to bring those things into judgment one day. He's also a God of wrath.
Absolutely.
Forever. His wrath is going to be poured out upon the wicked.
Absolutely.
That's why we come out here to preach the gospel, but